My guest in the Mountain Music Lounge this afternoon has toured with Dave Matthews and John Mayer and Sheryl Crow, and his date at Numos on Friday with Xavier Rudd brought him to Seattle. His second release, So Much More, rocketed to the top of the download charts on iTunes and eMusic. Brett Dennen, welcome to the Mountain.
Hey, thanks a lot. It's good to be here. I brought some good friends along, wonderful musicians, Randy Schwartz on the drums and Kevin McCormick on the bass. And
Perfect.
We're glad to be here.
Welcome, guys. Everything go okay Friday at Numos?
Friday at Numos was amazing. The crowd was great. I love to play in Seattle. It's always wonderful. I love the people up here, and it's always good. But Numos was especially good this time.
All right, good to hear. If it's okay with you guys, why don't we just jump right into a song to start things off here?
Wonderful. This song is called Darling, Do Not Fear What You Don't Really Know.
Brett Dennen in the Mountain Music Lounge.
When I arrived in my old set of clothes, I was half a world away from my home, and I was hunted by the wolves, and I was heckled by the crows. Darling, do not fear what you don't really know yet. Alongside my innocence, I laid in bed awake, conflicted and estranged with the impetus of age. But like a phantom, she crept across the floor and out the window. Darling, do not fear what you don't really know yet. From his place on the mantle, my heart was taken down, scattered in 1,000 little pieces on the ground. And I'm below a street lamp like an orphan with a halo. Darling, do not fear what you don't really know, 'cause it won't last. Your worries will pass. Yes. All your troubles that don't stand a chance, and sometimes it takes more than a lifetime to know. Yes. Darling, do not fear what you don't really know. All right. Confidence was faultless, your faith etched in stone. Neither could comfort you from the wild unknown. So bury your burning hatred like a hatchet in the snow. Darling, do not fear what you don't really know. If you have a broken heart or a battered soul, find something to hold on to and to let go, to help you through the hard nights like a flask filled with hope. Darling, do not fear what you don't really know, 'cause it won't last. Your worries will pass. All your troubles that don't stand a chance, and it always hurts the worst when it's the ones we love the most. Darling, do not fear what you don't really know. All right. Sometimes your path is marked in the sky. Sometimes you're forced to fit in between the lines. Sometimes all that you can do is say no. darling, do not fear what you don't really know. I said when I arrived in my old set of clothes, I was half a world away from my home, and I was hunted by the wolves, and I was heckled by the crows. Darling, do not fear what you don't really know. I said, darling, do not fear what you don't really know. We said, darling, do not fear.
Great. 1037 The Mountain. Brett Dennen is in the Mountain Music Lounge.
Yeah.
Randy Schwartz and Kevin McCormick are in here with him. And that's a song called Darling, which is on your second release.
Darling, do not fear what you don't really know.
So Much More. Great CD. Excellent song.
Thank you.
When I hear that, it kind of sounds, I don't know if it's your picking or the rhythm of the whole thing has sort of gives me sort of an African vibe. Am I imagining that?
No, you're not imagining that. That's what we were going for. That's music that I think all three of us really enjoy listening to. I especially love the guitar players from Africa. I think that's my favorite style of guitar playing.
Yeah.
And when I wrote that lick in the song, I was kind of trying to go for an African thing. And when we were sitting down recording it in the studio, we were trying to go for it. We didn't want to go all the way to Africa with it, but we wanted to kind of represent a little bit of the sound that comes out of South Africa, and
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going for, we didn't use a bunch of ethnic instruments, and I didn't try to emulate any of the clicks or anything like that. But
wait, how do those clicks go?
I can't do it, but
Yeah.
but it's the music we all love, and
All right, Brett Dennen is here in the Mountain Music Lounge now. The factoid you see all the time about your background is that you grew up in a town in California called Oakdale.
Yes.
Which is, what kind of town is that?
It's a small farm town, and kind of like at the edge of the Central Valley and the foothills of California. It's tiny. It's all farmers and cowboys.
And you were homeschooled.
I was homeschooled until I was in 7th grade, yeah.
So literally you just get up every morning and Mom starts teaching you stuff?
Yep, my mom starts filling my head with all this stuff about how the public school system is a joke, and and how I'm really lucky that I'm getting schooled at home because I'm getting the best education that I can get, and eating organic food. And
so your parents had kind of a hippie thing going on.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
totally, all the way. My dad is a carpenter. He built canoes and dulcimers, and pretty much remodeled our house. And my mom grew vegetables and started a food co-op. And
wow. And so
they've been phasing out over time. My mom's got a desk job now, and
they're getting back on the grid now.
Yeah, my dad's almost retired, and they watch the news, and they don't have cable yet, but they have the internet.
That's enough.
We didn't get a microwave until I was like a junior in high school, which was a pretty big deal. We were the last people in town to have a microwave.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what